my name is Rinke Giwa Onafo. Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of my broadcast journey. Thank you to all of those that have been following from episode 1, 2, 3. I believe this is episode 4, I think. Thank you very much. And don't forget, just a reminder that you should subscribe. And of course, if you can share this video to your community, to your friends and family, I would totally appreciate that. All right, so in today's episode, I'm going to address a question that was put in the comment section by someone who watched. Thank you so much for watching. And she was saying, I think it was in the episode where I was talking about why I wanted to go into broadcasting in the first place, or I think I was talking about when I started broadcasting and how for me it was just about, the fact that I loved to, entertain and also be impactful. And she was wondering if, there should be a deeper reason as to why one wants to be a broadcaster. And in answering that question properly, because I think I gave a brief answer in the comment section, I think that there's no invalid reason as to why you want to be a broadcaster. There are people who started out broadcasting when they're still very young and naive, and all they really wanted to do was just talk to people. They just knew that they had a flair or a gift for addressing people and talking to people, because it is a gift. Sometimes we take our gifts for granted. We think, okay, is it not just talking? No, it's not just talking, but there are loads of people who cannot just talk. So if you can't talk, you're articulate, you're eloquent, then it's a gift. You must use it. So there are people who started broadcasting with just that. I just want to talk. And I think that's valid. And there are people who started broadcasting because they felt like, they had a voice for their generation and they needed to say something to impact generations to come. That's really deep, isn't it? But if that's your reason, that's fine as well. And so really it's just to say, if you want to go into broadcasting, whatever your reasons are, no reason is invalid. Some people have to get in there and after a couple of months, then realize, okay, I'm really not caught up for this thing, or you know what? Yes, I really do have a voice for my generation and I'm just exactly where I ought to be. So, in furtherance to that, I'm going to give you or share some qualities I feel has helped me in my successful journey in broadcasting. And I think that if you have these qualities, you will do absolutely fantastic in broadcasting. So it's not enough to just have a reason, to be in broadcasting. To have longevity in broadcasting and to have a successful career in broadcasting, you need certain qualities. And these are some qualities I feel have helped me. Number one, voice. A lot of people say, oh, should you have a certain kind of voice? A lot of people say, oh, should you have a nice voice when to get into broadcasting or to have a successful journey in broadcasting? And I must answer that. Look, it was back in the day that people had to sound a certain way. Having a good voice is relative. I mean, in the past, women with raspy and croaky voices were considered as, nobody wants to listen to that on radio. But these days, it is considered sexy. In fact, they're looking for all of those women that sound a little bit more masculine, etc. Radio has changed, broadcasting has changed, and there's no one size fit all kind of voice that we should all have. So whatever your voice, you should go and obviously do a voice test. And it will be determined by the radio station and what they really like. There are certain radio stations that like people to sound rugged and there's certain radio stations that like you to sound very foreign. There are certain radio stations that like you to sound very local. So depending on the radio station, you could just be a perfect fit. So don't count yourself out because you think, oh, my voice doesn't sound nice, maybe I sound very raspy. You could just be exactly what that radio station needs. So number 2 thing that I feel has helped me, one quality that I think everyone must have if you want to be in radio, is thick skin. Oh my days. Thick skin is so important because you could totally have just wrapped up a show, feeling yourself be like on top of the world, and someone will just come and just poke holes in everything you've just said and done. Or you could just get very destructive criticism. Criticism is good. Now, we all need it in order to get better, but criticism should be constructive. But in radio, everyone and their pet thinks that they can have a say on, what you have done or what you did or whatever, So everyone thinks, how we're all armchair critics and we think, oh, we can do better and stuff like that. So someone who obviously cannot even tie your shoelaces would come to you and tell you how, oh, you're rubbish or this. So you have to have a thick skin. You can't run away from radio just because someone gives you a destructive criticism. So you have to have thick skin. One other thing you have to have, which also sort of goes in line with having a thick skin, is a good self-esteem and confidence. So good self-esteem, because yes, even when you get criticism, it's important to filter it and allow it, well, not allow it get to your heart, in quotes. So someone may give you criticism that you find a little harsh. Don't take it too personally. Take out the good, or take the good and take out the bad, and just move on. So good self-esteem will help you realize that, okay, they criticize me doesn't mean I'm a horrible, disgusting, whatever, failure, but that, oh, okay, you know what, I'll take whatever is good from this criticism and I can do better. Also, confidence is so important. I mean, we all like that person who walks into the room and it just feels like, they own the place and they're just so lively and all of that. Confidence is key on radio as well. The last few episodes I talked about how certain interns come and feel like, you know what, I am here and I can do this, piece of cake, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then you turn on the mic and it's like, and they're just frozen. So obviously you need a lot of confidence, and just to for you to bear in mind that confidence is something that grows. I remember my first few months on radio, maybe even the first year, every day it felt like, my heart was going to burst through my chest, but as I did it, and the more often I did it, the more confident I became, the more relaxed. Now I can get on radio, even though I still have, the butterflies in my tummy, but it's good butterflies and I embrace that. It's lovely. So it's important that the more you do something, the more consistent you are at something, the more confident you will get. So don't run away after a few months because you feel, oh, I'm not confident, I just know what's happening, I still have butterflies. I still have butterflies, and it's 12 years and counting. All right, so confidence is super key. It's a super key quality to have if you're going to be on radio. Next one is a thirst for knowledge. It is so important. I was telling one of my proteges recently about how, people want to go into radio with what they think they want to do. So for example, you like entertainment, and so you want to get on radio and just be an entertainment OAP or a broadcaster that just does entertainment. And then you start to work with a radio station, and then they ask that, oh, you do the newspaper review, and you're thinking, no, but I mean, I don't like that, I don't do that. And that was me. I remember when I started on radio, all I was doing was more inspirational stuff, nice, feel good kind of things. And as our radio station evolved, they required that I did more serious things, more serious content, like newspaper review, political analysis, political shows, etc. And initially, I wanted to kick against it, and I thought, that's not me, and I don't like that, I don't do that. No, but you have to be flexible. If the radio station you work at require that you do something other than what you like, then you must have the thirst for knowledge and learn about whatever it is. So you may not like it, but you have to do it. It's a job. So you coming to say, I only do entertainment, is not going to work. I don't know how many entertainment-only radio stations are even out there, but I even feel, even with entertainment, there's a political side of entertainment where it's not just about, oh, let's meet you, and then just stuff you read off the blogs. There's a part of entertainment where you have to do a lot of research. So research is also key. When it comes to thirsting for knowledge, you must be able to research. Even if all you're talking about is what? Food. You must be able to do beyond what we can all find on Google. If all you go on radio to do is what we can all find on the blog, then you're not doing anything, my dear, because blogs and all of this, social media pages and handles seem to get there faster than all of us. So you must go beyond what people can see on blogs and what people can get on Google. So thirst for knowledge is so key. So go outside of the box, go outside of your comfort zone and learn about things you normally would not learn about. Read books, read magazines, read blogs, sites, whatever. Anything that will increase your knowledge and will help you to deliver something beyond what, I can be in my car, be on Google and just learn. So a thirst for knowledge is a great quality to have if you're going to have longevity on radio. And going along with that is also a desire to educate and inform. I talked about how a lot of us go on radio and talk about things that everyone knows. You have to have a thirst to educate. And that's why people who have that, their reason, whose reason for going on radio is to sort of impart people and impact people and affect and effect. It's valid as well. So people like that, it's great because then you feel like you want to inform the public, you want to set an agenda. So for example, you feel like people are doing something a certain way. Do you know that with your platform on radio, you can actually change how people think? Do you know that with your platform on radio, you can actually change how a group of people can change the culture? It's that deep. Working on radio and your job on radio is that important. You can change the culture around you. You can change how people think. So that's a deep reason to get on radio, and that's fantastic as well. So yes, you must have a desire to inform and educate. You must have a desire to set the agenda in a way that you change the status quo just with a radio show. This one, a great vocabulary. You cannot be a radio presenter and not have a great vocabulary. And I'm not talking about those who do crankum, crinkum and talk on radio, and then you're wondering, do I have to sit with my dictionary every time I'm listening to you on radio? Even though I'm not saying dumb down yourself to speak on radio, but realize that when you're on radio, you're speaking to a lot of people who are learned, people who are not lettered, people who from all walks of life. So you cannot bring all of your dictionary arsenal and just destroy our head only just because you want to run a radio show. You must have a great vocabulary, but you must keep it simple as well, so that everybody can understand what you're saying. A good vocabulary, meaning that perhaps every week or every day, look up the dictionary and look up new words and use them, because apparently research has found that if you learn a new word and you don't use it for about 3 days or somewhat, you will forget. So there's no point looking up new words when you're not using them. So use them. Even when people laugh at you and say, now wow, she don't come again with her grammar. Use them. Get used to new words. Get used to using new words that can enhance your vocabulary. Read books. Books will also help you enhance your vocabulary. That way you don't have to look in a dictionary. You can read a book and then obviously the storyline will tell you what that word really means. You can underline words that you've never seen before. That will totally help your vocabulary. Watch certain kind of movies. That will also help your vocabulary as well. And finally, the last quality I feel that has helped me on radio is a great personality. I know. People say I have a great personality, and I think I do actually. I'm very authentic, and I'm always telling people to be their authentic self. I mean, there's no point being on radio and trying to fake and be who you're not. And we find that a lot, whereby people are trying to fake accents, fake who they are, whatever, tell all sorts of sensational stories in order to capture people. But that can capture people, but then will it retain them? Will it hold them? It's like being friends with somebody and then 1 month later you realize that it was all a lie. Eventually, all of the lie will come out. So I think that's one of the greatest things about being a radio presenter that can keep you successful or give you a great career is have a great personality and be yourself. Great personality is also relative, Not everybody's gonna like you. As much as I have a great personality, I'm not jollof rice, so not everyone likes jollof rice even, so I'm not ice cream. Not everyone likes ice cream, so not everyone can like me, but I feel confident enough in myself that I'm being myself. So whoever doesn't like me, hey, perhaps you could try somebody else. But I know the people who like me, who find me relatable. So just be yourself. People who will like you, and be relatable, be authentic. I know that we all want to speak in foreign accents, etc. But what's most important is pronouncing your words appropriately, the way they ought to be. And when you pronounce your words the way they ought to be, really, you will sound refined. So be authentic, have a great personality, and I think that will carry you through for a long time to come. I hope that this episode has inspired you, has helped you if you're trying to get on radio or you're on radio. I hope that you found this episode very helpful. Until next time, when I come back your way with another episode of my broadcast journey, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video as well, and of course share to your community. Catch you next time.